Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a great rack. I've got the first blank, and the rest of the rack is pretty decent. I probably don't have a bingo with F, H, and Z, but I should be able to score well and improve the rack in terms of its bingoiness. So, through an I would have Hafith. I've got Fez on my rack. I'd like to get rid of the F and the Z. Then what's left is bingoing. Could there be a bingo here? I don't think there could be a 7. Okay, so let me consider the floaters just in case anything leaps to mind. Nothing with the L or the E or the T. So I think the play is Fez, or is it? That's 30. I'm just wondering if Flet is good. I don't think it is. If it was good, then I could play Fez and Flet. But I don't think it is good. So I'm going with this. Great, surely I am bingoing now. With the blank as an R, I have another in row I. But surely I'm going to have a choice of bingos here. What about a play through ZE? So it could either end ZES or D. Or it could begin ZE. Oh, wow, fantastic bingo by opponent, unrated. Now, does this U give me a bingo in column 1? And in particular, does it give me a triple 9 timer? I'm not optimistic about that, although I do have the out prefix. Wow. Let me run through the alphabet with a U in mind. Not seeing anything yet. So this rack plus a U. Still nothing. Phonate as a 7. Hackwiton. Yeah, I think that's good. Not a triple, but it does play in column 1. So I've got Euro as a prefix, but no bingo. It will be a big miss if there is a triple and I don't play it. But I haven't seen it. So Hackwiton for 83. And pretty good for 7 random tiles. I'm not seeing a 7. Could there be an 8? Floating R doesn't look useful. What about the A? No. I've got bi and bio as a prefix. Great, just 10 points for opponents. Couple of new floaters, including an E. And a U. So I've got un and uni. I've got boy as a component part of a word with rins. Okay, so how to sort this rack out. And column 8 remains available for a non-bingo ending IZE. I think Brianese is good through an E, but no available one. 16 minutes on my clock. So, certainly I want to get rid of B and Y together. This is 25 points, not very much. Let takes only an S after it. So that's 25. What about playing down here? 22, not as good. Now there's a T also available as the initial letter of a bingo. Well, I feel I'm missing something much better than boy in this spot, but I haven't seen it, so boy for 25. Oh, wow. That's a dreadful pick. So, how to sort this rack out? Pretty much impossible to sort it out in one. I could play rind, but SRR is really vulnerable. Still 2 R's to come. BRR is good, but the B of boy, not accessible. Or not in the right spot. DURR is good, and that would sort the rack out in one. Will that remain available? Big X spot from unrated. Gox is good. We'll take that out. Yeah, I really need to play off 2 R's to leave the rack in a decent state. So DURR remains available. Phew. Only 10 points, but completely sorts the rack out. Wow. This is the way it goes with Scrabble. You can just have a run of wretched racks. This is twice I've kept Rins, which is an excellent 4-letter set. The first time I drew 2 R's, and now I've drawn 2 I's. But surely I can play through this. I have Irid on my rack. Duplicate I, not terrible in the context of a rack with no other vowels. I have Nidai on my rack. Great, just 10 points for opponent, so I still lead. Not by much. Agu takes a D. What about doing this for 13 points? It provides nothing for opponent, so what are they going to do? This board is really tight apart from column 10 as a bingo lane. Pretty much no other scoring spot, so I think playing ID with this board is fine. It for 13. Great, I dodge further I's, and this looks a balanced rack. Not seeing anything down from the T, not seeing a 7. And no scoring tiles. But if I play off O and I, then Reigns is an excellent 5-letter set. Great, opponent changes. They are suffering. So, can I play off I and O anywhere for any score? Oh, I thought I could in column 5 with Tyro or Tori, but neither. I don't have the tiles for going next to the E. Wow, is there really nowhere to play IO? That's a shame. Boyo is good. Do I have any OZE plays? No. What about a play across from the C? Wow, what a crazy board where you can't even play off I and O. Except you can. I can play here. Wow, that's volatile. This is less so. The O would have enabled an X to be played. Not many tiles go underneath an I. Or he takes an L and an S. It's only 6 points. I'm replacing an S letter lane with another one, albeit a better one, but I have an S. I'm going with this. Well, I don't think I have got a bingo here. Really missing an E. And I have both of the hooks for Oi. But no bingo. I do have a small lead, but that's going to disappear if opponent bingos. And no scoring tiles on my rack. Will opponent provide any floaters? So, ID is available for a 9-letter play. I don't have one. Such a tight board. Opponent changed 4, so they only kept 3 tiles. They may not have a bingo. Yelled takes a G in front. Great, only 14 points. So IT available if it's preceded with an S, not seeing anything. What I can do is this, lane for 17. Decent score given the rack, and an okay rack leave. Yeah, I'm going with this. Am I? What about a play down from the M? Six-letter play beginning with M. No, not seeing one. So let me play lane for 17. Wow, and I draw V, W, and Y. Crazy, crazy game. I'd like to play off, well, all of them. That's unlikely to be possible. Oil takes a Y and an S. So I could play Ivory, taking out that bingo lane. Leaving S and W, still one blank to come. I'm not seeing anything down from the M. Meta takes an L and an S. Vrow and Vow are both good. Lane, I don't think, takes anything after it. It does take a P in front, both P's unplayed. And it also takes an S in front. So, do I have any SW plays? Nope. Ivory will still enable a PR play, but unless a big tile can get doubled, this triple word square isn't particularly hot. Yeah, Yelled only takes a G in front, 2 Gs to come. Oh, wow. Okay, nice bingo for opponent. They take the lead. So, well, I'm not going to find a bingo through any of these floaters. I would have wavy through an A. Wow, I can play Vow, but that takes an A in front, and there's a lot of those to come. So what about Yao for 28? Decent score. 1V has already been played in Geneva's. Column 14 quite hot, but opponent may be reluctant to open up column 15. I only trail by 18, so this is going to give me a 10-point lead. But if I'm going to play Yao, why not play it here? 31 points. Yeah, I don't have to keep the board open. And yep, Yao here is providing nothing. I'm going with this. And I draw the second W. But Vor will get rid of both V and W, and I can play that to make Y. Not seeing anything down from the M. It feels like I haven't had many E's this game, but I had the E for Fez and also in Haquiton. So opponent could have played Geneva's and Gield, but didn't. Now, what if my Vor spot is blocked? Any other spot for getting rid of the V and the W? Oh, and it is blocked. That's a shame. 29 points for opponent, so I'm back to trailing by 16. Wow. And I could have played a Vow, keeping the Y in row H last turn, and that opportunity is not available now. Yeah, just nowhere on the board for Vor. $10 on my clock. So I could do this for 27 points. It's a decent score. I don't want to expedite the end of the game because I trail. And if I draw a vowel, this isn't a bad rack. I'm not seeing any great spots for the V, but it's just a tight board for pretty much any letter. I am going with this. And I draw a U to go with the V. The play of OR has opened up column 4 because an R can go and an L can go between C and OR and an H. But I don't think I can play anything great in that spot. NURR. 17 points, quite handy. I trail, or I lead rather, by 11. But because this rack is so poor and opponents on turn, I don't feel that I've got the advantage in this game. Just 26 for opponent, that's good. So do I play NUR? 2 S's to go, otherwise I could play Avi, setting up row O. All the D's have gone. Haming doesn't take an S. I can't see a way of playing my V in column 4. These are the last 2 R's, and R's are bingo-y tiles, and they go well with V. So I could do this. There's still a Q unplayed, so sticking a U next to this double word square was pretty rubbish. Only 15 points, but there's very little between us. Yeah, I'm going with NUR. Great, I do draw an E, I do draw an X. I have Vex on my rack. So, is there anywhere for these plays? Such a tight board for all letters. I've got axes in 2 spots. Oh, I have vax, ha, and axe. Vex, ha, and axe, rather. That's quite nice. Oh, an opponent goes in that spot and burns an S, so they probably got the last S. So 8 minutes on my clock. I have Vex ill on my rack. Is takes an H. All the H's have gone. Seven minutes on my clock. 10 tiles in the bag. What a tricky spot. Well, I have Axe ill hanging on to the S and the E and scoring 33 points. Plus the I goes well with this rack. An opponent will probably want to block these bingo floaters and may sacrifice score to do so. And the N of N has also created a lane. So, yeah, I like Axil. And I draw another scoring tile in the K, so it's non-bingo-y, but it may be a blessing if I can use it to outrun opponents. Remaining pool, jolly non-bingo-y. Q doesn't look like a great tile to have. Opponent could just drop it above the I, but that's only 11 points. And I've then got an I for going next to it. So how can I score with my V or K? I feel like I've had the V for a very long time, ever since I chose to play Yao rather than a Thou. Craw takes an S in front. Gosh, it looks like opponent didn't have the Q. They burnt an I. Only 12 points. So it looks like maybe they were taking out a bingo lane. 6 minutes on my clock. 4 tiles in the bag. Banny, I think, takes an A in front. Not seeing a bingo through either of these floaters. I only trail by 4. I want to play off 3 tiles. Wow, how to do that? I don't have a vowel for going in front of the B. I'd like to hang on to the I in case I draw the Q. QI and GI is quite handy. And also I'd like to keep the I in case opponent plays the Q. If opponent plays QI, I can stick my I next to it. So I'd really like to play off the V. Well, I'm now back into the territory of not scoring very much. Still an S to come. Wow, this is just super tricky. What about doing this? 18 points and getting rid of the V. If I draw the Q, I'm not going to be stuck with it. Opponent can now play QI. But there's only four points between us. So 4 minutes on my clock. So I think scoring 18 points is decent. Can I score anything like that anywhere else? With just 3 tiles? What about VIS, G and I's? Yeah, that scores more. This is 18 points. This is 24, and it's denying opponent this QI spot. There are still 2 I's available for a Q. Yeah, 24 points. I am going with this. And I draw the Q, and I don't have an I to get it to play twice. I have a 20-point lead, and the J is unplayed. Wow, what a tricky position. 42 points. Oh, but look what opponent's done. They've set up a Q spot. If only I'd kept an eye, I would have had chi twice. But is it going to be enough? Can opponent go out with double O E? They can't play oboe. 3 minutes on my clock. Olio. They've got olio for 4 points. So QI is not going to be enough. Do they have another out with E double O? They may not see olio. Unlikely. Just QI would block olio. But then opponent plays OE. Well, let me think this through. If I play chi for 11, that blocks olio. Three minutes on my clock. Opponent, I was going to say has OG, but they don't. They have two O's and an E. I don't have to block with just the Q. I'm not going out with polka. So I could play ilk. Well, I really want to be able to go out in two. So if I want to keep open, our opponent's taken out this I, 2 minutes on my clock, so my only two Q spots are above Axel and above I. So if I want to, I have to play my Q first. Or block olio in a way which doesn't block QI, which would mean a play down from the L. That's just not going to score enough. 1 minute on my clock. Tricky situation. So if I play just the Q, opponent plays OE, they're then going out next turn. I've got cop. So this is 11, 1 minute on my clock. This would take me to 3:25. I would trail by 11. Opponent plays OE for 14. I would trail by 25. I would play cop for 30. I would lead by 5. Opponent wins. I think I play chi and hope opponent misses olio. I could not see a winning line. So if you can't see a winning line, you've got to hope opponent makes a mistake. And even if they miss olio, I've still got work to do. I've got a K and a P to offload, which I can do with cop at the moment. Opponent's got 9 minutes to find olio. Plus they had all the time that I spent over my last move. What a difference it would have made if I'd kept the I. But I don't think I can conclude that playing Viz was definitely wrong. So what if opponent doesn't play olio, doesn't block, and does block cop? I'm not sure about kilp. Yeah, my kilp is good. Oh, wow. So opponent hasn't gone out. They played OE. So that means I've got cop for 45 seconds on my clock. We're dead level. Cop for 30. Surely wins. Oh, my word. Gosh. So opponent is surely going out with an O. They've got ISO. They've got low. Geo. OK. Oh, I've given them OK for 18. Not enough. Wow. And the final score, 371 to opponent, 377 to me, a winning margin of 6 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Good grief. What a strange ending. Now, it was opponent to go fast, and they played let. Phase, that's nice. I played Fez for 30. I could have got 5 more points, probably. Well, very little to choose between them. 5 points is good, but then Phase takes a D and an S, whereas Fez is far more restricted. Now, opponent has unrated, and after Phase, they would have had it in column 10 for more. Great, no miss bingo. I play Hackwiton, B2. Pantheon playable onto the N, getting the H tripled. That's nice, but only 3 more points, so Hackwiton, I think, is fine. It takes out column 1. Opponent plays Ague or Ague. Phew, no missed bingo here. L2. Boney putting a Y in column in row O. Wow, so I play boy at F5, and that looks fine. In fact, it looks best. Opponent plays tinned. Now, this was an awful rack. I played Dur for 10, and although 20 looks like a better play, you're keeping triple R. So look at these first 3 rack leaves, horrendous, and then suddenly Dreamboat City. So I like Dur. Opponent's rack, they play Q. Now I am struggling. Oh, C, I9. Oh, well, Indri. I thought Indri was playing in row M, but it's playing in row I. C5. Drib onto the B. That's quite nice. And I play id for 13, keeping double INRS. I think that's fine. Better than drib, providing less for opponent on a super tight board. And opponent changes, so they change with this rack. Yeah, probably sensible if there's nowhere to play the Q. Oh, that's nice. Chow for 26. Well done if you spotted that. So I play Oi for 6, which is a lot worse. Yeah, but I'm keeping Reigns, which is significantly better than most of these rack leaves, so I'm happy to make the score sacrifice. However, the Chow play definitely superior. Great rack for opponent. Oh, missed bingo. So they could have played Gate Men, E7, and Gjeld, and Segment, I11, and Ois. Okay, maybe they weren't sure of the S hook for Oi and the G hook for Yeld, but they play Met. Marlin playable down from the M. Wow, for 27, and I play Lane. Yeah, Marlin would have been better because it retains the S. Great rack for opponent. They play Geneva's. And now a fateful moment. So Ivory playable in column 13, sticking an I in the middle of row A. Not a fan of that. Savoy burning the S. Where's that? H11. Oh, Savoy and Slain. Viewy, F10. Oh, Viewy's the play. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. Through the E, getting the V and the Y tripled, so my miserable play of Yao was significantly inferior. Opponent plays Pacer. Maven's playable for 45. I play... Oh, interesting. I play Or for 27. But I could have played Craw. I did have the R at the time, and I could have played Craw and should have done. Now, opponent's rack. They play Haming. B6. Virus and Spacer. That's nice. 30 points. Yeah, it would have. I think I overlooked or did overlook the S hook for Pacer. So I think Virus would have been nice. Opponent with 2 S's plays Fates. Salix playable through this A. Right, now this is where I play Axel. Axel playable, which would have retained the I for the Q. Opponent plays Banny. Banny from this rack. Okay, just a lot of vowels. Now, wow, Lisk for 38. What do? I play Viz in this spot. Oh, and I think Viz is right. I only wanted to play off 3 tiles because there were 4 in the bag. Now, opponent plays Joins, and here we go. The bag is empty. I play QI for 33. And I think if I hadn't played there, opponent would definitely have blocked that spot. And here it is, the out of Olio, which opponent did not see. So they play OE. No out for me. B1. Oh, wow, look at that. Polk playable for 8 more points. Fortunately, I didn't need those points. Zooks played okay. Oh, yes, to end the game. And that was the end of that. What a crazy game. Loads of bizarre racks to deal with and tricky optimal moves to play, many of which I didn't find. But I hope you enjoyed considering these sort of gnarlier games. I think it helps you think along the right track so that in future, if you have perhaps similar positions or positions which invite similar analysis, then games like this can be of assistance. Anyway, always fun to play Scrabble. Many thanks to opponent for a great battle. I hope you enjoyed watching this game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.